Yo, what's good, ladies and gentlemen? Bitches, welcome back to the channel. We are back, recording live from the mothership, run off the fade, your boy Rain, and we're back talking some Tekken 8. Now, it's been a minute, and y'all already know it should be no surprise. Y'all ain't really seen me since Season 2 dropped. I dropped a couple videos. I dropped the Lydia changes video. I dropped a video playing Anna, and then from there, I kind of went MIA, right? Because Season 2, I don't even want to talk down on Season 2 too much. I've actually tried to make some videos where I come out and I kind of talk about why I'm not going to be playing the game and this and that. But I actually made these videos and I look back at them while I'm editing them like I don't really just want to spend 20, 30 minutes just slagging off the game. While I think constructive criticism is definitely needed, it's definitely leading us to good things, hopefully, right? I don't know, I feel some type of way. I mean, maybe about the way I delivered it, where I was just talking mad shit about Tekken. I don't know, right? But regardless, we have some new information from Bandai about Season 2's emergency patch, right? So I just wanted to sit on my desk. I want to gauge the community's feelings on this, because I'm kind of mixed, right? And there's reasons we'll get into. I glanced over this. It sounds good on paper, but then again, it's kind of like, it's an example of how the trust between the community and the devs has been broken, because I've read some of this stuff and I ain't gonna lie to you. Again, some of it sounds great on paper. I just don't believe him, bro. I don't believe him. I'm not buying it because they've just straight up lied to our face already multiple times. But let's go. We're going to read over some of these changes, right? And yeah, like I said, I just want to gauge an idea of how everyone's feeling. And we'll talk about some of these changes. The patch is actually coming April 17th. So that's in a matter of days. So already that's a lot better. Like I mean, April's kind of flown by, right? So, I mean, they did say mid to late April, which it is turning out to be. But I don't know. It feels like it's kind of come kind of quick. But anyway, let's read through this, right? So, balance adjustment policy version 2. The development team acknowledges that following the Season 2 update, the overall game balance has shifted too heavily towards offense. We sincerely apologize that the actual balance changes did not align with the development intentions and policy previously communicated to the players. Now, when I say I don't know how to feel about this, these sentences are kind of wide, because I just can't, I don't buy it, bro. I don't buy. We sincerely because I just can't. Like, bugs are one thing, bro, but I just can't fathom. I can't understand how we even made it here. Like, the game shifted too heavily towards offense. Really? You think? You know, like, how do you make the changes they made without thinking it would shift to? Yeah, you know, like I can't. It just sounds like yap, bro. If we're being honest, it's just yap. It's just what do you call it? Damage. It's just damage control. It sounds good. It's going back to Harada's tweet. There was a miscommunication. What did he call it? What did Harada call it? Disconnect. There's no disconnect, bro. Stop buying everything they tell you. He said there's a disconnect, and they say, okay, oh yeah, we are. There ain't no disconnect, bro. They knew exactly what we didn't like about Tekken 8. They knew exactly what we didn't like about Heat. They knew exactly what we wanted changed. And they just ignored it and they just went ahead and did their thing. They doubled down on everything they wanted to do, right? It wasn't a disconnect. There was no disconnect. A disconnect suggests a misunderstanding. If I meet your wife and you say, hey, this is the love of my life, bro. I love her with all my heart. I don't know what I would do without her, bro. You know, I just wouldn't be able to exist without her. I don't know what I would do if something happened. And then you leave me alone with her and I fuck your wife. And then you come back and I say, oh, sorry, man, it was a disconnect. There ain't no disconnect, bro. It don't make sense. But this is where I'm lost, because, like, again, like, I just can't get around how we even got here in the first place. How has Tekken got to this state in the first place? For them to turn around and just say, oh man, the game shifted to, oh, we apologize, bro. We said, yeah, man, I don't know. But anyway, like I said, I'm going to start going on, bro. This is going to be 30 minutes. We just started. But anyway, we deeply regret not being able to address the improvements and adjustments that the community had hoped for. Again, it's just more yap. Like that. These first 3 lines are soulless. They mean nothing. They are nothing. They're just filler. They're filler episodes, bro. Naruto. Anyway, moving forward, we're committed to distinguishing between issues that can be addressed quickly and the issues that require more time and community feedback for proper review. Sounds good, right? Sounds good. Because again, we all know that the game is not going to be fixed like that. This game is in a state. It's going to take a while. It's going to take a while, bro. So we will implement a step-by-step update process to improve the game experience. In this upcoming update, we will fix known issues to begin a balanced review based on the following policy. The patch notes are scheduled for release shortly before the update, around 10:30 on the set. Okay, so the patch notes are coming on the 17th. I didn't realize that. Okay, no, so I guess the patch notes are coming before the update. The update's coming 17th as well, right? Interesting. All right, so number 1, increase the maximum health value to help mitigate situations where matches are decided through overly one-sided momentum. In light of current damage environment trending towards inflation driven by an offense-heavy game balance, and increased aerial combo damage, the maximum health value will be increased. This adjustment is intended to ease situations where matches are too easily decided by one-sided momentum. And this, again, is where I'm on two sides about these changes, because this is not a good change. It's just not a good change. And this leads to a trend that I've been seeing in the Tekken devs for a while, which is just lazy balancing. This is just lazy. It's lazy. What's the easiest way that we can fix the problems we created? Give him more health. Health is not gonna change how this game plays, bro. Health is just gonna mean you get run over for longer. It just takes longer to run you over. And maybe if I guess right once, now I can run my opponent over. It's not gonna change the aggressive nature of the game. All adding more health is gonna do, and we don't know, bear in mind, we don't know how much health they're gonna add. But this is specifically a change that I know I didn't want. I know there's a few people who didn't want this change. But all it's going to do is it's going to invalidate poking even more. Poking is going to become more useless because there's more health. And why am I going to poke when I could just do my launcher and do my 115 damage? I'm going to poke my opponent, poke, outplay. He's going to land the launcher, take me to the wall, mix me, I'm dead. It's still going to be the same thing. It's just lazy balancing. We've seen lazy balancing going back as far as Tekken 7. When they had to nerf Akuma's jump overs. And instead of nerfing Akuma's jump overs and thinking and saying, how do we balance and nerf Akuma's jump overs? Instead of doing that, they just said, we get rid of all jump overs. Lazy. Lazy. Like they don't want to think at all. They had a problem with Tekken 7's backdashing issue, which I'm going to come out and say it because people have issues with their memory. The issue with backdashing in Tekken 7 was not nearly as bad as people seem to remember it. It wasn't nearly as bad. For 95% of Tekken 7's lifespan, it was not an issue. For 95% of the characters on the game, it was not an issue. For 95% of the stages, it wasn't an issue. It wasn't an issue unless you picked Zafina, or you picked Alyssa, and you picked Infinite Stage. That was it. So all they really had to do, and to be fair, they made some good changes in Tekken 8. But again, one of the biggest things I see with Tekken 8 is just the over nerfing of it. I don't want to say over nerf because on one hand it's over nerf, on the other hand it's over buffing, right? So just the over, what's the word I'm looking for, right? Let's say over coverage, right? Like they just going too far and stuff, right? They made some good changes in Tekken 8, right? Like the rematch. You're not allowed to rematch and pick a stage. That alone would have done a lot for fixing the backdashing issue, right? Getting rid of infinite stages. Those two changes, huge. But no, instead of actually going and thinking of how we can make the game more aggressive, let's just nerf backdash. Let's just nerf backdash to the ground, right? Lazy. They could have sat and they could have thought, how do we make this game aggressive? But then they just was lazy with it and said, you know what, let's just make every character overpowered. That will make the game aggressive. Lazy, right? Yeah, there's so many examples. The key charge, and I'm someone who I've been wanting key charge gone. If you ask me, key charge is one of the most ridiculous mechanics in fighting games. What do you mean I get a counter hit without a counter hit? How does that ever make sense? I get a counter hit without you pressing the button? Well, then it's not a counter hit. Why are you giving me a counter hit? Doesn't make sense. But as much as I hated key charge, again, lazy balancing, right? Key charge was only really a major problem for Hwoarang. So why didn't you just nerf Hwoarang's key charge setup? No, let's just get rid of key charge. No, let's just get rid of key charge. Yeah, it would be too much work for us to look into the key charge setup and see what we could do. No, let's just get rid of key charge. Lazy. A trend of lazy balancing from Tekken, and again, highlighted right here. Why don't you just, you know, nerf combo damage? Why don't you just nerf the damage values, you know? And to be fair, at somewhere through here, it says in a later patch, they will be nerfing combo damage. So I guess we'll have higher health and less combo damage, which I guess, you know, we'll have to see how it works. But again, it's just going to make poking less valuable. It's not a good change in my opinion. It's just a bandage. But anyway, I'm yapping. Change number 2, gradual adjustments to overly high reward moves. Now this is where I'm gonna go on the other side. This is music to my ears, because this is one of the biggest problems with Tekken 8, even before Season 2. Even before the new moves, this was the issue, bro. This update addresses the overall inflation of attack strength and combo damage by implementing adjustments that can be done quickly to moves that provide excessive reward. We recognize this as a game-wide issue rather than a problem limited to specific characters. We plan to continue reviewing and tuning these aspects progressively. Now, this is the line right here. We recognize this as a game-wide issue. See, on paper, some of this shit sounds super cool, bro. Some of this shit sounds super cool because it is a game-wide issue. Every character in this game is too strong. Every character has moves in this game that just don't make sense. Plus on block, home in, you know, knockdown moves. You know what my biggest issue is? You know what? I'm gonna come out and say it right now. My biggest issue with Tekken 8 is the hand-holding. And the hand-holding applies to a lot of things, but it mainly applies to just moves in general. My biggest issue specifically with overpowered moves is this idea of moves giving you guaranteed follow-ups for no reason. I can understand on counter hit, you get guaranteed follow-up, shit like that. Why is there so many moves in this game that just on regular hit, you get guaranteed follow-ups? I'm looking at Lydia, Season 2 Lydia, horse free. Why am I getting a heat engager for free, for just landing a move? You just land a move and they say, hey man, here's a heat engager, go into heat and go wild. Nah man, like that stuff needs to be erased. Stop giving me offense. I'm a grown adult. I can work out my own offense. I can open up my opponent, and if I can't, he's better than me. Let him win, bro. I don't understand. I don't like it. Everything is guaranteed follow-up, guaranteed follow-up, guaranteed follow-up. Weak, bro. Weak. Too much hand-holding. Just letting your opponent, giving your players stuff for free. So yeah, this is the most impressive thing that I'm hearing, right? This is the most outside of the idea that character individuality and archetypes are dying. This is the biggest problem for me. The archetypes and character individuality dying. For me, that's the biggest issue. That's the biggest issue over anything for me. But outside of that, just the fact that so many moves are just overpowered, like. And this is why I've been saying I don't know if this game can be fixed without like massive reworks, right? Because again, it's not just a matter of this and that. It's a matter of, at the core, the moves are just too strong across the board, right? So this is a great change that I'm super happy. Oh, there's actually more examples of adjustments. Okay, so balance adjustments to high performance moves that can repeatedly create advantageous situations that lead to one-sided gameplay. So I'm looking at obviously a lot of the new moves, right? Jun, I don't know the input. Jun, she has the home in mid, that's plus, that goes into starts, that goes into another plus. You know, Brian's new move, plus 7 mid, that goes into mix. Alyssa's new move, +7 mid. It sounds like moves like that, right? Because they're saying create advantageous situations. Yeah, all of that stuff. But then again, it's like, why did we ever think this was a good idea in the first place? You know, that's why I'm like on two sides, because it's like, it all sounds good, but then it's like, did y'all just waste our time? Why did you make this in the first place? Someone's got to be fired, if I'm honest. Like, I'll be honest, somebody's got to be fired because somebody just doesn't know how to balance fighting games, and it's simple as that, right? Adjustments to moves with disproportionately high reward compared to their risk. Honestly, I'm looking at a move that people ain't talking about. I'm looking at Lydia again. I mentioned Lydia because it's my character. I know her better than any other character, right? I'm looking at Heaven and Earth 1. What do you mean I get a Power Crush mid launcher, high damage, and it's -11 on block? What? -11? Yeah, that's what we're talking about. High reward and low risk. Like, that's crazy. I mean, I hope they don't nerf that move because I'm happy using it. But that shit's crazy. And it's crazy because that's like one of the less egregious moves in the game, right? Does like 27 damage or something. It's mid. It's a Power Crush. Yeah, nah, bro. -11? Anyway. 3, rebalancing the offensive and defensive aspects of the heat system. Again, sounds great, bro. Sounds great. How they'll do it, we're going to have to wait and see, right? But currently, the benefits gained by attacking the player through the heat system are considered too great. The following adjustments have been made. Revised damage scaling when you use the heat dash to suppress combo inflation. So, I mean, yeah, self-explanatory, right? Combos in heat are going to do less damage. I personally don't think heat dash combos were really a problem. I mean, in season 2, yeah. I mean, in season 2, everything does too much damage. But, I mean, initially, season 1, I don't think it was too much of a problem. I hope they don't. I mean, you know what? Scaling it could be good. Because, again, we just need more strategy in this game, right? And right now, there's no reason to not go for your heat dash launcher. It's just not, right? It's just not, because you're going to get a +5 anyway. You're going to get a launcher. If it lands, if it doesn't land, like I said, you're getting +5 anyway, right? And if you reduce the damage, then it kind of makes you at least think a little bit. Should I do this? Or should I maybe just go for my heat smash? You know, stuff, just even simple thought processes like that. Like, let your player think a little bit, right? So I guess that's good. Adjusted frame advantage on hit for heat engagers, maintaining benefits for the attacker while allowing the defender more opportunities to respond. And again, I'm on two sides here because again, sounds great, right? But then at the same time, we asked for this a long time ago, and y'all just ignored us going into season 2. So this is why I'm like, it's just bro. It's just damage control. Because if we didn't go out and out raw, would they just keep piling onto this bullshit, right? Like going into season 2, we didn't ask y'all. I'm hoping they don't overcorrect it, right? I hear people saying that they think it's gonna be like +5, like a heat dash. I think we need more, even if it's just like +8, +10. I think that would be good. I think +10 sounds good for heat engagers, right? But yeah, again, I'm taking all of this with a pinch of salt because they're saying it, but they've said this stuff before, right? Coming into season 2, they told us the focus was defense, and it clearly wasn't, baby. It clearly wasn't, right? So, I mean, they're saying all of this, but for all we know, they're saying that they're gonna adjust frame advantage. Maybe they're gonna make it more plus 20. You know, who knows, bro? Additionally, adjustments have been made to chip damage as follows: reduced additional chip damage during heat. Change the system so that moves which already I can't read today, bro. Change the system so that moves that already deal chip damage do not receive extra chip damage while in heat state. Future updates will also include adjustments to the amount of chip damage dealt by any individual move. Again, sounds great, right? But again, this is exactly what they said before. This is exactly what they said before. I think this is the most egregious part of season 2 in general. The fact that they said that they were reducing chip damage and they have absolutely increased chip damage in this game. They've absolutely increased chip damage in this game. Like, I don't know. This is why I feel like they're just taking a piss, because how do you say you're going to reduce chip damage? You reduce overall universal chip damage, but then every character gets increased chip damage on specific moves. It's like, are you spitting in my face right now? Like, that's how it feels. It feels like you're spitting in my face. So again, I feel like we're just heading into season 2 again. I feel like time has been reversed and we're back in season 1 looking into season 2. Because this is exactly what we had before. We looked and we said, oh, nah, chip damage. Yeah. We had this already. We had this conversation. Yeah, chip damage is going to be reduced. We'll wait and see if it is, bro. Because it might be increased again. Again, chip damage is a major problem in this game. It's a major problem, especially when you pair it with this stuff. Sorry, not this stuff. When you pair it with this stuff, the problem with this game, really, and chip damage, like, I do not want chip damage to go. I like chip damage, right? But the problem with chip damage is the moves that do chip damage are the moves that are plus on block. The moves that are plus on block, the ones that create this momentum shift. Like, so I'm taking chip damage. You're encouraging me to block, right? By making the move +8. The move is +8, so you're telling me, hey, you should block after this. But then you're punishing me for blocking after this by chip damage. It doesn't make sense. Moves that do chip damage should not be plus on block moves. They shouldn't. They should not be plus on block moves. They should be moves that give up your turn. You shouldn't be doing a move that deals chip damage and you get to keep your turn and just do the move again. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense. But yeah, chip damage being reduced. Where are we? There we go. Yeah. And this is another nice change. Moves that do chip damage outside of heat are not going to do extra chip damage in heat. So again, hopefully, when we reach season 2, and I say that as if we're not already in season 2, but I consider this, I don't consider this season 2. I consider this purgatory. This is the step in between season 1 and season 2. We're deciding where we want to go. This is purgatory, bro. So when we reach season 2, chip damage should be much better. It's crazy because it seems like they've actually, again, sounds like on paper, right? It sounds like they've finally picked a side, and it sounds like they've picked our side rather than the casual side, right? Because all of this is exactly what we wanted, pretty much, right? This is leading towards a better, fairer game. Now, as for future balance adjustments, in the next update planned for mid-May, adjustments will include reducing air combo damage and reevaluating the performance of Heat Burst. Additionally, we will continue to review issues that could not be addressed in this update, such as moves that consistently create advantageous situations leading to one-sided matches, and attacks with disproportionately high rewards relative to their risk. Moving forward, we remain committed to incorporating player feedback. Boom. Sounds great, right? Sounds great. I mean, honestly, it just sounds great. It sounds great. And if it wasn't for the fact that they have straight up lied to our face so many times, I would be super hyped for this. But I can't shake the feeling that this just ain't gonna be what they say it is. Because, I mean, okay, I get, like, this game's reputation is in the gutter. So I get that would force their hand, right? The fact that this game's reputation is absolutely being dragged through the mud. They kind of have to start listening, right? But then at the same time, I'm like, why have you all of a sudden completely shifted your philosophy? I'm just not buying it. I'm just not buying it. Because just last week, y'all were in favor for this uber aggressive game, bro. You were just last week. Now all of a sudden, I don't know, bro. Again, this is why I say the constructive criticism is clearly working. Because they are this is a real shit. If all these changes come out and they're how we want them and they look good, this patch right here is make or break for Tekken 8, bro. It's really make or break. Because look, this first patch, it's not enough. But it's an emergency patch. It was never going to be enough, right? This game has a lot of work to do. But it's a good start. What I like, really, is the future balance adjustments. The fact that they are saying, all right, cool, we're not going to be able to sort this out in this patch, but we understand that this, like they said, is a game-wide issue. This is going to take a while to fix. We are going to continuously... listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know how many, like, specific move changes are going to be in this emergency patch. Hopefully there's a fair few, because, again, this game needs a lot, right? I'm being real. I don't want to see a single buff in this patch note. I don't want to see a single buff. Not one. Not even buffs that characters needed prior to Season 2. Not even characters. I don't want to see a single buff. I want to see that their focus is evidently, overwhelmingly on defense. I don't want to see a single buff. Not a single frame Not this move has been changed from +5 to +6. I don't want to see a single buff. I want to see nothing but nerfs. Nerf, 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 nerf. Damage reduce, damage reduce, damage reduce. Frame reduction, frame reduction, frame reduction. We've changed the way this move behaves on hit. Changed the way this... I want to see nothing but nerfs across the board. That's me. I don't want to see a buff. I don't care if they do 100 nerfs and 20 buffs. I don't want to see any buffs coming into this, because they need to prove to us that it's not just a matter of fixing the changes. It's a matter of them showing us that they understand the issues and the state that this game is in. This is, like I said, this is make or break, bro. Because it's not, again, it's not just a matter of them fixing the game. It's a matter of them getting the trust of the community back and rebuilding this this relationship that they have fucking burnt to the ground. I want to play some Tekken. I really want to play some Tekken. I'm not going to lie to you, so I can't wait until the 17th. But at the same time, I'm not going to get my hopes up too much, because I was really excited for Season 2, and I have been let down, bro. I haven't been playing Tekken at all, bro. I've been playing Mortal Kombat. I've been playing Street Fighter. You're going to see some videos coming up of those fairly soon. So, yeah, big couple weeks for Tekken 8, bro. I'm not going to lie to you. We also need to see a change in their patch, how do you say, in their philosophy, right? We like, fuck Street Fighter. Street Fighter could do what they want. We don't need to copy Street Fighter with this one patch a year shit. Patch the game when it needs to be patched, bro. Especially right now, the state that this game is in. Again, I'm not exaggerating. I want to see a patch every other week, at least. If not every week. I want to see changes, because again, there's a lot of work to be done, and they understand that. They could be... Harada said they're working around the clock. If they're working around the clock, I want to see a patch every week, bro. Every other week, I want to see a patch with significant changes. This has been nerfed. This move's been nerfed. This move's been nerfed. Heat has been changed here. Heat has been changed. That's what I want to see. But, guys, we're going to have to wait and see. I don't even know how long I've been yapping. Y'all just have to take it, bro, because I ain't spoken on Season 2 since it dropped. So, all of it is coming out right now. Yeah, I've been yapping. We're just going to have to wait and see. It's only a few days away. I can survive, because like I said, I've been playing other games. I encourage y'all to play other games as well. Yeah, we're going to have to wait and see, bro. It's make or break, bro. The game is in the balance. I see you guys soon. Always remember, never be afraid to run off the fade. Peace.